Hey, family, Naisha back on with another word. Piggybacking off my last word, you're either a slave or a master. We all know that there's only one master, and that's God. Whether you believe it or not, that it is what it is. You know, nowhere in history, and I'm not going to get off topic, but I'm just feeling the need to put this out. Nowhere in history where a scientist or science, whomever they choose to call themselves, has been able to prove the exact existence of every single thing on earth. See, science, they come up with these unimaginable theories. Billions and trillions ago, a Big Bang theory and the black and all of this stuff that makes you just not even want to think about it, to where we don't think about our existence. But God, he's so upfront, he's so good to us that in Genesis, and the word Genesis means the birth of, bringing forth life, the beginning. That's what Genesis means. And just like the good God he is, when he starts off Genesis, he starts in the beginning. And he breaks down exactly how every single thing on earth was made. From the foundations of the earth. From why does the sea, the oceans, when you go to a beach, why do they stop at that certain shoreline? Why do they stop there? He laid it all out. The trees, the birds, every beast, every creeping thing that creepeth, meaning insects, people, you and I. Literally everything has an explanation in the Bible. And what the enemy does is he comes with these unprecedented and just, like I say, unimaginable numbers, billions and trillions. We don't even like to think back 10 years ago, 100 years ago. Slavery happened 400 years ago. We don't even, we just can't even think of that. But when you start thinking billions and trillions and all of this stuff, we just think that's his trick of deception. That's the first deception. He has maneuvered his way in like the snake that he is. In the Bible, I love it. In Revelation, it speaks, and that old serpent, when God starts pouring out his wrath and he starts casting things into the lake of fire, he brings it right back. In Revelations, which is the very last book of the Bible, he says, and that old ancient serpent. Because from the beginning, he came to steal, kill, and destroy. Another thing too, when we think about, it's just stuff to stop let people spoon feed you and pick up the spoon yourself and feed yourself. Meaning, don't believe everything you see on media and what history books say and what the science books say. No, do your own research. Even with time. We don't know how old this earth is, because God is a God that stands outside of time. That's why he just say in the beginning. When is in the beginning? Whenever God made it. That's in the beginning, not billions and trillions. How could we put a number on when the earth and the foundations were set and we weren't here? And quote unquote, to break even further into the myth of evolution and all of this stuff, how is it that if it was so many all these years ago, whatever, and science tells us that the brain has developed and we are more advanced now than we were then, how would they even know how to keep count to say, oh, this is the first year? See, when you lie, you have to keep on lying. That's why it's not good to lie. That's why God is the truth, the way, and the light. Jesus is the truth, the way, and the light. Anybody that tries to come through the gate by any other means is a thief and a liar. See, when you lie, you have to keep lying. And most times when people lie, they don't even remember they lie. So they have to keep going down another rabbit hole. You're either going to be a slave to science, slave. Like I stated in the last video, we all are a slave to something. It does not matter if I'm not a slave. And you're sitting here, you're cursing, you're talking to your children any type of way, you're very hateful, you have such gossiping spirits around you. Tell me what you're a slave to. I can tell you what you're a slave to. That's why God tells you you'll know them by their fruit. Or you're a master. There's only one master. But God is so good that he's poured out his spirit upon us, meaning we have become masters of this flesh. Meaning we can deny ourselves. We can deny ourselves in so many ways. To name a few, we can deny ourselves to say, okay, I'm going to be obedient and self-disciplined enough to get up and go to work. That's self-discipline. You've mastered the spirit of laziness. If you have to catch what I'm saying. When you decide, okay, I'm always late to something or whatever. And now you consciously made it up to say, you know what, I'm going to get there XYZ amount of time and do that. You have become a master of late, a master of left behind. If you get what I'm saying, whatever you decide to change about yourself, you have become the master of the thing that was holding you down, that was keeping you in bondage. That's why God, he came to set us free. Think of it. Think of history when the slaves were free. We were once slaves of sin, of iniquity, of all wickedness, unrighteousness. But when Jesus came, he set us free, and now we are slaves to righteousness. No longer are we slaves to bondage, for we did not receive the spirit of freedom to fall back into fear, which is another bondage. But we have a free spirit over us. Nothing is new under the sun. We think about the slaves in history and times past, and it was such a joyous day, rejoiced day when they were set free. They were set free physically. Christ came to set us free spiritually. The great thing about God would not ask us to do something, meaning he would not tell us to deny ourselves, to cultivate the fruit of self-discipline, had he not done it already. God, he could easily, this is why Jesus is so fundamental, and he is the cornerstone, and he is the basis of what it means to be a Christian. Because when we were once slaves, now we're slaves here. They were physical slaves, right? Physically bound. God came to set us free spiritually. Now it's our duty to set us free mentally. And guess what's so good about God? We don't even have to do that alone. For it says, do not be conformed to this world, but let God transform you by changing the way you think. So as a man thinketh, so he is. If you think you are a loser, you are a loser. It doesn't matter what nobody around you say, you are a loser. If you think you are a winner, you are a winner. No matter what anybody around you say, you are a winner. Master comes in when you have mastered the ability of things that have been trying to keep you bound. Okay? Jesus has already set our spirits free. Our salvation is secure. And it will remain secure contingent on the way that you choose to lead your life. The life you choose to lead, or the life you choose to obey. What you choose to obey. Our salvation is secure, contingent upon the life you choose to live. They may say, well, we're saved by grace. I have faith. If you're saved by grace and you've let God work into you, no longer would you want to be a worker of iniquity. You can't truly be saved and say that you are going to heaven and going to see the Father if you are still working in iniquity. If you are still sinning. It doesn't make sense. Yes. That's why as long as you have breath in your body, it doesn't matter how far you are off, you can still come to the Father. You can still come to the Father. As long as you have breath in your lungs, you can still come to the Father. It does not matter the life that you are leading, right? Even now, it don't matter. Come to the Father and he will show you the way. For he puts a light, he is the light to our path. He leads us in darkness. This world is very, very dark. We're not wrestling against flesh and blood. Meaning I'm not wrestling against the person. We're wrestling against that spirit behind the person. When someone cuts you off in traffic, that is a spirit of impatience. When someone comes and bursting through the door angry, that is a spirit of anger. It's never the person. It's never the person. Once I woke up and I realized that however someone treated me, it wasn't you, like the person. For the flesh is dead. You can't do nothing to me. That's why also in the Bible says, don't fear what a person can do to your body, what man can kill the body. You fear he who can kill the body and the soul. If someone goes and takes someone's life, you don't know where you just sent that person. You don't know where you sent that person. You see their physical body may be gone, which is dead anyway. For the spirit, for a body without I'm getting excited. A body without a spirit is dead. So the body is dead anyway. We are spirit beings in a physical body. Tangible. We're just tangible. What you're looking at is tangible. But there's a spirit operating inside of me. I got to continue this video. Next. Part 3 next.